Hi, this is Mrs. Robertson, and today we are going to be doing Lesson 8, Dividing Fractions, and it is located in Chapter 4 on page 327. We're going to skip the first page and go straight to page 328. And the words for how to divide fractions say, to divide a fraction, multiply by its multiplicative inverse or reciprocal. Now, a multiplicative inverse, a number times its multiplicative inverse equals 1. A number times its reciprocal will equal 1. So what do these things look like? Well, here you have 7/8 divided by 3/4. It's always the second number. It's not the first number you mess with, it's the second one. So you 7/8 times the multiplicative inverse of 3/4 is 4/3. Kids, basically it's the fraction flipped. Okay, a reciprocal is the fraction flipped. So you multiply by the reciprocal. 7/8 times 4/3. 4 goes into 4 once, 4 goes into 8 twice. You're going to get 7/6, which equals 1 and 1/6. Write that down. And let's circle the algebra part. This is going to be a little confusing to you, but the more we do equations and expressions, it's going to get easier. What this says is A over B divided by C over D equals A over B times D over C, where B, C, D do not equal 0 because dividing by 0 is undefined. Okay, now let's look at the next example. Dividing 3 by 1/4 is the same as multiplying 3 by the reciprocal of 1/4, which is 4. 3 divided by 1/4, flip it, that'll be 4 over 1. If you want to put a 1 underneath each one of those, you can. And you get 12 over 1, which equals 12. They give you the same thing. All right, now it says, consider 7/8 divided by 3/4. This is where they teach you another way of writing it. This and this say the same thing, just make the fraction bar a little bit bigger. It makes it easier if it's a little bit bigger. Okay, do that. 7/8 divided by 3/4. It says the same thing as this. I will not use this way very often, but you will see it when we start doing expressions and equations later on. Okay, but we're rookies here. We're just going to start with this way. Now, 7/8 divided by 3/4 is the same thing. Let's write above it 7/8 times 4/3. Okay? And we get 4 goes into 4 once, 4 goes into 8 twice, and you end up with 7/6, which equals 1 and 1/6. Any questions on that? All right. Let's go on now and look at example number 1. In example number 1, you have 1/3 divided by 5, which can be written as 1/3 divided by 5 over 1. You gently pick it up and put a 1 under it. Then it's keep, change, flip. This is like a little way to help you to remember what to do. You keep 1/3, change the division sign to a multiplication, and flip or take the reciprocal of 5 over 1. And you get the answer 1/15. Any questions? Did you divide fractions last year? Okay, good. Now let's go to number 2. Example number 2. 3/4 divided by 1/2. Well, we know the answer is going to be negative, right? Positive divided by negative is negative. You're going to keep, let's write 3/4, change to multiplying, and flip it to 2 over 1. Now, you can simplify before you multiply. 2 goes into 2 once, 2 goes into 4 twice. You end up with negative 3/2, which equals negative 1 and 1/2. Any questions? All right. Then I would like for you to do A, B, and C. And then you can just write the answers below or on the blank. It will not matter to me today where you put them. Okay? The 4's will cancel and turn into 1's. You end up with 3 over 1 or a positive 3. This one, 4 will go into 4, 4 goes into 8. You end up with a negative 9/10. Any questions on that one? This one will be positive. 3 goes into 3 once, 6 twice, and you end up with a positive 5/4, which equals 1 and 1/4. Any questions on how to do them? All right, then we're going to do mixed numbers. In question number 3, 2/3 divided by 3 1/3. Kids, you have to change it to an improper fraction, which is 10/3. 3 times 3 is 9, plus 1 is 10/3. Then keep, change, flip, or do the reciprocal. And then I simplify before I multiply. 2 goes into 2 once, 2 goes into 10 5 times. 3's will turn into 1's, and you end up with the answer 1/5. See how easy it is when you simplify before you multiply? All right, then I would like for you to do D, E, and F at this time. So for this one, you're going to have 5 over 1 times, that's 4/3. So when I flip 4/3, it's going to be 3/4. And that will equal 15 over 4, which will equal 3 3/4. Did everyone get 3 3/4 for that one? Good. Okay, the answer is going to be negative on this one. So I have negative 3/4 times, that's going to be 3 over 2 flipped, times 2/3. Ooh, lots of shortcuts here. 3's turn into 1's. 2 goes into 2 once, 2 goes into 4 twice, and you get a negative 1/2. Is that what you get for that one? Yeah. Good. And on this one, you have 7/3 times 1/5. Did you get a positive 7/15? Very nice. Okay, let's go to the next page now. 330. On page 330, here we have it's going to be a division word problem, but I want you to know what they look like. The side pieces of a butterfly house are 8 1/4 inches long. How many side pieces can be cut from a board measuring 49 1/2 inches long? You are going to take 49 1/2 and see how many 8 1/4 are in it. Now, some of you are saying, Mrs. Robertson, can't I just turn that into a decimal and divide that? You could, but not on this one. If they give it to you in a fraction form, I want you to keep it in fractions. Why? This is a fraction lesson and not a decimal lesson. You got it? There's more than one way of doing that problem, but I want you to do it this way because we are doing our fraction lesson. So you change them to improper fractions. 2 times 49 is 98, plus 1 is 99 over 2. 4 times 8 is 32, plus 1 is 33 over 4. Keep, change, flip. Oh, 2 goes into 2 once, 2 goes into 4 twice, 33 goes into 33 once, 33 goes into 99 3 times. You end up with 3 times 2 is 6, 1 times 1 is 1, The answer is 6. Does that make sense? Yeah, 6 side pieces can be cut from that board. Any questions? On a word problem, always make sure you look at your answer and say, does that make sense? Because sometimes you come up with answers and they won't make sense. And it's like, well, I better go back and fix it. Okay, so let's do the guided practice, and then I'll give you your homework assignment. In number 1, 1/8 times 3/1. Keep, change, flip. And you end up with positive 3/8. Everybody got that? Good. Negative 3/1 times negative 7/6. Does everyone see how I got that? Simplify before you multiply. 3 goes into 3 once, and 3 goes into 6 2 times, and you're going to end up with a positive 7/2, which equals 3.5. Any questions? Here you're going to have negative 7/8 times 4/3. The answer is going to be negative 28/24, which equals a negative 1, and 4/24, which will equal a negative 1 and 1/6. Any questions on that? Number 4. On Saturday, Lindsay walked 3.5 miles in 1 2/5 hours. What was her walking pace in miles per hour? Write in simplest form. You're going to take 3.5 divided by 1 2/5. So kids, that's worth a point. If this were a quiz or a test question, that's a point. Writing down what you are doing. Then I'll give you a point if you do the keep, change, flip. That'll be 7/2 times 5/7. Okay? And you end up with 5/2, which equals 2.5 miles per hour. Any questions on that? Okay. What are we going to do for homework? And you will have about 20 minutes in here to do the homework, so that's a good amount of time to get started. On page 331, I would like for you to do write your answers, and we'll do 1 to 8. So do 1 to 8 on page 331. Let's look at 332. I want you to do problem number 12. Find the mistake. These usually are pretty easy, okay? And they really like these on iLearn tests, on your quizzes, and on your regular Math 7 tests. So make sure you do number 12. And then on page 333, I would like for you to do 16, 17, and then you can choose 18 or 19. Or actually, I'd let you choose any of the others. Choose one. So from 18 to 22, you can choose one problem that you would like to do. Any questions? Well, I believe that you have a minute a problem. Actually, more than a minute a problem, because I've only given you 3, 4, plus 8. You only have 12 problems. I think you can get it done in class today. Any questions? Show your work and work hard. Have a good day.